Hey guys, Dina here and welcome back to our channel. As you can see, our tomatoes have grown. They're not babies anymore. We have a little forest of tomatoes here. And so I would like to show you in this video the way I thin them out, and now would be a perfect time to thin them out. And so we have too many plants in this container. And the way I thin them out is I look for the tallest one and also for the one that has the thickest stem. For example, we can completely get rid of this one because it's just tiny and small. And then if we look at the three of these tomato plants, we can tell that the one on the right has the thickest stem. And that's the tomato plant that I'm going to keep. So unfortunately, I'll have to cut this one by tomato, and I'll have to cut this one also. And now we have one beautiful tomato plant in this container. Hopefully it will grow just as happy. So we're going to do the same with this container. As you can tell, we have 4 tomato plants in this container. It's too many. So we're going to see which one would have the thickest stem. This is the weakest, so we can just start cutting the weakest plants. They all look similar to me, so what I'm going to do is just choose one. It doesn't really matter which one. So we'll cut this tomato plant. And then these two look very much alike. So I'm just going to keep probably this one, so I'll cut off that one. And I'm going to do that with the rest of the tomatoes. And the other thing is that I don't pull them out, because if I do, then I'll simply ruin the root system of the existing tomatoes, and it's never a good idea. And so I'm going to do the same with these tomato plants here in the back. As you can see, these two are really small and weak, so we're going to cut them off like that. And then we have these two left here. As you can see, the one on the right has a thicker stem than the one on the left, and so it makes our task easy. We'll just cut this one, the one on the left. And what you can do with the seedlings is put them in the water, and the seedlings should grow roots along the stem right here. So I'm going to try to do that, and I'll give you an update on that also. And so in this spot, we have only 2 plants. In fact, I think this is the container that we use to take 1 extra tomato plant and transplant it into this container. If you watched our previous video, that's what I did in that video. And so I'm going to see which plant has a thicker stem. It looks like the one on the left has a thicker stem. And so I'm going to cut the one on the right. If you watched our previous video, you'll remember that this container was empty. The seeds simply did not come up. And so what I did, I dumped the soil from this container back into the garden, and then I put a different potting soil into this container, and then I took 2 seedlings from other containers and put them into this container. As you can see, these seedlings aren't as tall or strong as the other seedlings, and they aren't as green. And I think that's because the other potting soil that I put into this container is not as rich and is not as fertile as the soil in the other containers. What I did, and you might think that it's probably strange, but I took some droppings from our guinea pigs, and I simply put the droppings on top of the soil, and then with my pencil I mixed the droppings with the soil and then water them with rainwater. And I can tell already that the seedlings actually have grown more, and the new leaves are greener than they used to be. So I think these seedlings might grow real well with the new boost that I gave them. And I read about guinea pigs droppings, and they're very good for the plants, and their nutritional value is very similar to that of rabbits. And so if you have guinea pigs, please consider using their bedding and droppings for your garden and plants. It's important not to overwater the plants. Actually, it's better to underwater them instead of overwatering them. And the good rule is to poke the top 1-inch layer of soil. And if it's dry, then it's perfect time to water the plants. and I will quickly show you the rest of my tomato plants. So these are all my tomato seedlings that I have. I have some empty containers, as you can see in the video, and I'm thinking of planting peppers and eggplants in those containers. But anyway, you can see that I have quite a forest here that needs to be thinned out also, and that's what I'm going to do. And I will give you an update on these tomatoes in a few weeks. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, please like this video and please consider subscribing, and happy gardening. Bye.